This is a fun routine that happens to be my favorite traveling card routine. Every magician seems to have one of these, where the aces all come together, the jacks all come together, the same suit, a poker hand all comes together. This is a version that was shown to me quite some time ago by a friend. In this case, we're going to use the 4 lovely ladies of the deck, the 4 queens. You see, the 4 queens like to hang out together. I'll show you what I mean. We take queen number 1. We set her up here in the corner, out of the way. She's all by herself. We take the other 3 queens, lay them across, and cover them with just a few cards, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, smothering them. They're hiding away from the world. Our poor queen, all lonesome over here. Oh, not to be left alone, we'll give her a few friends as well. Now remember, the queens are going to go from underneath this whole pile over here to this lonely, lovely lady. So let's just go ahead and dig out the, wait a minute, dig out the 4 queen, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 queens. For this routine, you will need to do a little setup. It's not difficult at all, and the trick basically works itself. You will need to take out 4 of the same cards. I use the 4 queens. If you want to use aces, you can. If you want to use jacks, you can. Whatever. Totally up to you. Second setup. You need to take the deck of cards and flip over half of them. So I have half of them face up, and I have half of them face down. I bring those 2 halves together. Okay. Now the 4 queens go on top of one side. So they're all on the same side. So while I'm talking, I deal out the 4 queens. Everyone can see them. I mention them for a second. I come up with my story. I place them all back on the deck. All 4 of them, one at a time. Okay, there's just a couple tricky moves. Here we go. You take 1 queen off and set her by herself. We'll set the queen of hearts by herself. At this point, I take the deck of cards that's in my left hand and set it on the table in this fashion. Instead of just setting it straight down, I motion at her. Everyone looks at this queen. I set the cards down. I flip them over now is what I've done. I talk about her for a second. I come back and I say, let's put the other queens out. I don't show them because these are the cards off the bottom of the deck. But let's hide these ones. So I can take bunches of cards, place them all over this, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, you don't want to go too far down because eventually the cards are facing the opposite direction here. So you just need a few cards. You talk about covering her up. I flip my hand over again, set the cards down, maybe I position them. Everyone's watching for these cards to go across. I pick up the deck, I have flipped it over again, and I deal out the 3 cards from the top. Okay? These are the 3 queens that we set down on that side originally. From here it's just acting, and you can do whatever you want. Flip these over however you want, show that the queens are gone, and then reveal 1, 2, 3. She makes 4.